What if I told you that the most effective way to teach someone to be an honest, upstanding person is to become a really, really good liar? I know, it sounds like the logic of a cartoon villain trying to sell you a self-help book, but stick with me here. Because you, me, all of us, we're not just students of this bizarre philosophy, we are its most accomplished professors. And we start teaching our masterclass in moral hypocrisy surprisingly early. Picture this, a classic Rockwell painting of American family life. Little Timmy, cookie crumbs on his face, is being gently scolded by his mom. "Timmy," she says, her voice full of gentle wisdom, "we don't lie. Lying is wrong. Honesty is the most important thing, okay? Now promise me you'll always tell the truth." Timmy, with wide, innocent eyes, nods solemnly. "I promise, Mommy." A beautiful moral lesson has been imparted. The seeds of integrity have been planted. Then the phone rings. Mom picks it up. Her face changes. It's that one aunt who talks for 3 hours about her cat's digestive issues. Mom puts her finger to her lips, eyes wide, and mouths to Timmy with the frantic energy of a spy in a laser-filled room, "Tell her I'm not here." And right there, in that split second, Timmy doesn't just learn about honesty. Oh no, he learns something far more valuable, far more useful. He learns that the stated rule, "always tell the truth," is what we'll call the display model. It's the shiny, perfect version you put in the window. But the actual product, the one you take home and use every day, is much more complex. He learns that there are good lies and bad lies. He learns that rules are flexible, especially when the rules are inconvenient for the rule maker. He's not learning morality, he's learning strategy. He's learning the first rule of the real world. The most important rules are the ones nobody ever says out loud. This isn't a bug in our human software, it's a feature. We preach absolute virtues, but we live in a world of constant, subtle negotiation. We are the architects of our own ethical paradox. Think about it. Why did we tell kids that the ice cream truck only plays music when it's out of ice cream? It wasn't to turn them into tiny nihilists who distrust joyful music. It was a lie of convenience. It was easier than explaining budgets or sugar intake. We taught a lie to achieve a good outcome, a tantrum-free afternoon. We essentially taught them that the ends justify the means, a lesson Machiavelli would be proud of, all before they could even spell Machiavelli. And then these kids grow up. They graduate from the Mommy's Not Home school of thought and enter the big leagues, the American workplace. And what do they find? Exactly the same system, just with more acronyms and corporate jargon. Remember your first job interview? You sat there in your slightly too tight suit and said with a straight face, "My biggest weakness is that I'm a perfectionist and I just care too much." The hiring manager, who has heard this exact line 400 times, nods thoughtfully and pretends to write it down as a profound insight. Both of you are participating in a beautifully choreographed ballet of bullshit. You're not supposed to be honest. You're supposed to demonstrate that you understand the game. The game is to present an idealized version of yourself that fits the idealized version of their company. The company's mission statement is plastered on the wall in the lobby. Integrity, innovation, community. It's the corporate version of "always tell the truth, Timmy." But then you get hired and you learn the real rules. Integrity means don't get caught. Innovation means finding a new way to phrase "we're doing the same thing we did last year, but with a new font." And community? Oh, that's the best one. We're a family here. This is probably the most sophisticated, high-stakes lie in the entire corporate world, because what it really means is we expect the same level of unpaid emotional labor and boundary crossing as a dysfunctional family, but we will lay you off via a group Zoom call the second our quarterly earnings dip by 2%. We are taught to navigate the gap between what is said and what is meant. It's a survival skill. The new employee who takes the "we're a family" line literally and starts sharing their deepest personal struggles in the Monday morning meeting is seen not as honest, but as naive, unprofessional. They failed the test. They didn't understand the lie. The employee who says, "Absolutely, I'm thrilled to be part of this family," and then proceeds to guard their time, document everything, and keep their resume updated, is the one who truly gets it. They are the A-plus student of the Mommy's Not Home Academy. This creates a fascinating kind of societal cognitive dissonance. We publicly celebrate whistleblowers as heroes of honesty. We watch movies about brave individuals who speak truth to power. But in our own lives, the person who points out that the emperor has no clothes is usually just seen as the weird naked guy in the room. The coworker who, in a meeting, says, "With all due respect, that's a terrible idea that will set us back 6 months," isn't praised for their candor. They're labeled not a team player. We want the results of honesty without the messiness and inconvenience of actual, unfiltered truth. We've built entire industries on this principle. Marketing is the art of telling a beautiful, legally defensible lie. Melt-in-your-mouth goodness for a burger that looks like it survived re-entry from orbit. Unlimited vacation policy that comes with the unspoken rule that if you take more than 2 weeks, you'll be judged as uncommitted. The entire wellness industry often functions on selling you ancient wisdom repackaged with a sleek logo, teaching you to be authentic by buying their $80 yoga pants. It's the "be yourself" command, followed by 1,000 tiny instructions on how to be a very specific, marketable version of yourself. So what's the psychological fallout of living in this grand theater of hypocrisy? For one, it makes us incredibly good at reading subtext. We develop a kind of social spidey sense for detecting the gap between the official story and the real one. It's why we're so cynical. It's why we don't believe ads. It's why we read between the lines of every corporate email about restructuring. We've been trained for this our whole lives. But it also makes us complicit. We lie to our boss about being sick because we need a mental health day. But the company doesn't recognize "my brain feels like a dial-up modem" as a valid reason. So we performed the little lie, the cough, the raspy voice to get a necessary truth. We need a break. We tell our friends, "Oh, I'm so busy that week," instead of the more honest, "I really don't want to go to your baby shower." It's a social lubricant. We lie to protect feelings, to avoid conflict, to maintain the peace. We call them white lies, which is a brilliant piece of branding. It's a lie that has been laundered. It's pure, innocent, and helpful. It's the good guy of lies. The problem is, the line between a white lie and a dark gray and "oh God, what have I done" lie is a blurry one. And it's a line we draw for ourselves, usually based on our own convenience. We've become judges in our own moral courtroom, and surprise, surprise, we almost always rule in our own favor. The hypocrisy isn't just that we lie after preaching honesty. The deeper hypocrisy is that we believe our lies are justified, necessary, and good, while other people's lies are deceptive, malicious, and bad. We have created a world that runs on a dual operating system. There's OS honesty, the one we talk about, the one we teach our kids. It's simple, clean, and noble. And then there's OS reality, the one we actually use. It's a messy, complicated code, full of loopholes, exceptions, and secret backdoors. We've all become fluent in both. And the real trick of adulthood is knowing when to switch between them. So no, the point isn't to start living a life of brutal, absolute honesty. You'd be unemployed and friendless in a week. Nobody wants to hear, "Frankly, your baby looks like a potato," or "This meeting is a pointless waste of the brief time we have on this earth." That's not wisdom. That's just being a jerk. But the awareness of this paradox is what matters. The recognition of the game. We are teaching the next generation a very complex dance. We are handing them a rule book and then, with a wink and a nod, showing them all the pages that have been torn out. We are teaching them that proclaimed values are often just a form of branding for a person, a company, or a society. And the real education is in figuring out the distance between the brand and the reality. So the next time you find yourself in one of these moments, telling a small, good lie to teach a big, good lesson, or crafting the perfect professional half-truth, just take a second. Acknowledge the masterclass you're giving. Because the question isn't whether the person you're talking to will believe your lie. The real question is, what unwritten, far more powerful truth about how the world really works are they learning from you in that exact moment? Modern life is full of human logic errors, and we just deciphered one with a bit of satirical humor using stick figures. Now it's your turn. Leave a comment and tell us, what is the slightly funny, normal thing people do that makes absolutely no sense? Thanks for watching on the Logic Loop channel, where humorous life logic meets animated commentary. If this got you thinking, leave a comment, like the video, share it, and don't forget to subscribe for more satirical videos about modern life using easy-to-understand stick figures. See you in the next video.